So I've got 6 o'clock. Are we ready to start the meeting? Because we're recording.
Yes.
I'll call the meeting to order then. Opening remarks by the chair. Good evening and welcome to this evening's meeting of the Woodbury County Zoning Commission. Today's date is Monday, October 26, 2020 at 6 p.m. Tonight's meeting will be audio taped and minutes will be prepared. In respect to all parties, we ask those present turn off cell phones. That would be kind of difficult, so don't do that. They're set to vibrate. Those in attendance are asked to legibly complete the attendance sheet upon the front table. You can't do that either. I would like to take a moment to review the procedures that the commission will follow tonight. First, the commission will handle the normal housekeeping agenda items, and for each application on the agenda, I will hold the public hearing on the item. The planning and zoning staff will then present the staff report, including the staff recommendation. Any letters or other communication received from the public prior to the hearing will be entered into the record. The applicant will then have the opportunity to present his or her case and respond to the staff report. Next, we will have comments from the public. If you would like to speak either in support of or against the application, you must come to the microphone. Please state your name and address for the record. All interested parties should be heard, but repetitious comments should be avoided. Repetitious or irrelevant comments may be ruled out of order by the chair. I ask that you remain respectful and courteous with your comments at all times. After all public comments have been heard, the staff and applicant may make a closing statement. The hearing shall then be closed by motion and vote. Thereafter, no further comments from the staff, public, or applicant may be heard unless asked for by the commission. The commission shall then deliberate the case and may ask questions of the applicant, the staff, or any party offering testimony. However, such questions do not reopen the hearing for additional comments from the public unless so requested or approved by the commission. The commission will then formulate and vote on a motion. The motion will typically either grant or deny the requested application. Any commission member who has an ex parte communication to place on record of this meeting should do so prior to the beginning of the deliberation of the respective agenda item. Having said that, we need a roll call. Dan, do you want to do the roll call for us?
Yes. In fact, kind of going through the list, I have a good idea who is present. Tom Bride is present. Barb Parker is present. David Gleiser with staff is present. Myself with staff, Dan Priestley is present. And Scott Gernhardt, the surveyor for the agenda item, is present. Am I missing anyone? Okay.
Ready to go? Okay. Do we have any public comment on matters not on the agenda? Okay, hearing none, I'm going to move on to item number 4, which is the approval of the minutes from September 28th of 2020. Do we have any corrections, additions, deletions? And if not, I would accept a motion by one of our commissioners.
This is Tom, and I would make. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Tom.
This is Tom, and I would make.
I'm sorry.
Okay, you guys, quit fighting.
All right, Barb, go ahead, Barb.
No, now I'm all shy. You go ahead and do it.
All right, this is Tom, and I would make a motion that we approve the minutes.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
This is Barb. I second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
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 Okay, it
We
looks
need
like
a roll
most.
call on that, or is it
Yeah, I
obvious?
can do it. We'll do a roll
Okay.
call. Selma Zant,
Yes.
Tom Bride,
Aye.
and Barb Parker.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0.
Okay, we have the minutes approved. The next item on the agenda is a minor subdivision public hearing of Peterson Addition. Dan, do you want to read that into the record, please?
Yes, this is a very basic minor subdivision proposal entitled the Peterson Addition. KP Peterson LLC has submitted a minor subdivision application to split their parcel into 3 lots. Lot 1.
Hey, Dan?
Yes.
I'm going to interrupt you for just a second. You're really muffled on my end. I'm not sure if that's what everybody else is hearing.
Yeah,
Yes, I am.
Is it?
Okay,
Is it muffled?
speaker, Dan?
let me see if I can. Is this any better?
That's better.
Yeah, much better.
Okay,
Yep.
okay. KB Peterson LLC has submitted a minor subdivision application to split their parcel into 3 lots. Lot 1, 2.55 total acres. Lot 2, 2.18 total acres. And Lot 3, 33.4 total acres to establish the Peterson addition. The property is identified as parcel number 894513300005 and located in the Banner Township, Township 89 North, Range 45 West in the southeast quarter of the southwest quarter of Section 13. The address is at 1293 Garner Avenue, north of Mobile. Northwest of Mobile. The property is located in the Agricultural Preservation Zoning District and is not located in the floodplain. The proposed lots 1 through 3 are compliant with the Woodbury County zoning ordinance, including the dimensional standards. As part of a farm operation, the front accessory structure just west of Garner Avenue on Lot 1 is agricultural exempt from the ordinance. In the future, if this property were to be sold to a non-farmer, this would be construed as a legal non-conforming structure. The proposed lots 2 and 3 will remain part of a farming operation. If lot 2 was ever to be sold to a non-farmer for the purpose of building a single-family dwelling, the property owner must submit a zoning ordinance map amendment application to the zoning commission and the Board of Supervisors to rezone from agricultural preservation to an appropriate classification as per section 3.01.1 in the Woodbury County zoning ordinance. Tonight's meeting was properly posted in the published in the Sioux City Journal's legal section on October 14th. The property owners within 1,000 feet were notified by letter. And as of today, this office has not received any comments about this respective proposal from the adjacent property owners within 1,000 feet. The stakeholder comments have been provided in the packet, and we did not find any major issues from the various stakeholders. There was one mention of a pipeline easement that goes through the property, but that would have no effect on the use of this basically as it has been as farmland. For the record, as with the staff recommendation, it said subsequent to the receipt of the review memo, which from the county engineer, which was provided to the commission after the packet was distributed. Staff, based on all the information received, including the county engineer's review memo, find that this subdivision meets the requirements of the ordinance and would recommend for the zoning commission to recommend approval. Just for the record, the county engineer's statement that came last Friday, basically everything checked out in terms of closure of the plat as the county engineer reviews, as well as the county engineer found it to meet the access requirements. And as I said, staff does make the recommendation for approval. That's all I have.
Okay, do we have any questions or comments from the commissioners?
This is Tom, and I would make actually just a couple comments. The first one being regarding lots 2. I know you specifically addressed lot 1, Dan, but also lot 2 or 3, if they were to ever be sold for non-farm purposes, then the subdivision would be required, correct?
Yeah, Tom, if it went to a non-farmer and the non-farmer wanted to add a single-family dwelling, it would require to move to a rezone.
Right, and that would apply to lot 3 also, if
Absolute-
someone were to do that. Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, and then the other thing regarding the lot 1 becoming a non-conforming structure if it were to be sold for a non-farm purpose, how would that apply to the existing parcel that's already been platted? Would that affect that at all?
You're talking about the one north, it's not part of the subdivision?
Correct.
That basically there would probably be little effect as it is a separate issue. It's basically about the position of where it is in terms of where the updated setbacks are, as if it were placed in there by the farmer being exempt from the zoning requirements, and then a non-farmer purchases it. It just basically places the new landowner into the requirements of legal non-conforming. And so it likely wouldn't have any additional effect on the neighborhood.
Other than there could be issues as far as construction or reconstruction. If it's damaged over 50%, is that the only thing that would come into play?
Yeah, the damaging type of thing, they've got a percentage where it can be basically repaired up to. But the way the legal non-conforming is the ordinance basically doesn't allow a lot of like expansion basically of something that has been out there. And again, and we've got a lot of them structures out there too, where something is transitioned, where they cut the homestead off and somebody doesn't any longer qualify for the ag exemption, then that's where they fall into that category on not expanding it and having so much. Yeah.
Do you know, I guess, who owns that, the separate parcel currently?
I don't have the name off the top as it's I could pull it up on Beacon, but that part just was under different ownership than the rest of this quarter section. And so it was not included as part of the subdivision, which is perfectly fine. This landowner, to my understanding, was splitting the homestead off. And according to the surveyor, the extra addition was that lot 2 up in the north corner, basically. So my understanding is it started to split the homestead off, and they just decided to split that lot 2 off in the way that they did. But I've been told that it's going to be still under the farm operation.
Okay, yeah, I just so that somebody's aware of the fact in case they were to buy it, they know that it could impact on what they can do with it down the road.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a common thing to run into when folks come in for building permits, and like referencing lot 2 again, if they were to come in for a building permit and not be a farmer, that would trigger the point to have to go through the rezone procedure. So there is that safety valve there to catch that.
That's all.
Hey, this is Chris Zant. I'm curious why the landowner is subdividing kind of out away from any municipalities out in the middle of the country on AP land. Is there a reason? Is it for loan purposes? I guess we see that quite often.
Chris, the surveyor, Scott Gernhardt, I believe, is with us. I would have to defer to him.
Yes, this is Scott Gernhardt. And the reason that subdivision got triggered is the previously platted north of Lot 1 was replatted, and they want to sell just basically the home that's on Lot 1 now. And that triggers, if they separate that from the farm ground, that triggers the subdivision process. Otherwise, they would have just done a plat if that was allowed, but it's not, since there's already been a split on the 40 acres.
Okay, so you're saying you're addressing lot 1 though. What about lot 2? That's kind of odd to have a lot away from the rest of the construction, the building.
The only reason, they said as long as we're going through a subdivision, there's 3 siblings that own this farmland. One of them that's local said, I may want to buy this, and I might not want to buy this from the siblings. And then he said, this would be a potential machine shed ag building for the farming operation.
Okay.
That way all 3
Okay.
siblings wouldn't own that building.
I've got kind of a question too that I think the secondary roads Mark Nara had brought up, and that includes the ingress egress easement on lot 2 and lot 3. Is that would end up being a shared driveway as it shows right now?
Correct.
Okay. Did we read into the record Mark Nara's statement on that driveway? Dan?
Yeah, I can go ahead and add the details in. Basically, the county engineer Nara checked the plat for closure, found it in compliance with the requirement of a full subdivision, 1 in 10,000 and 1 in 5,000 for each lot as required by section 355.8 of the Iowa Code. He reviewed the parcel for access, the existing driveway for the parcel on the line between lots 2 and 3. If lot 2 becomes residential and needs a driveway, a new drive may be located not closer than 180 feet south of the north line of the lot. Due to a hill north of the property, site distance is very limited for access to lot 2. As long as both lots are used for the agricultural purposes, the single driveway exceeds minimum site distance requirements and may continue to be used. The access driveway to lot 1 can also continue to be used. He stated he has no other concerns or issues with the minor subdivision application.
Okay. So in the event that lot 2 does get sold, people are aware that that could be an issue?
Yes, they're aware. I think they would just continue to share the driveway, though. They wouldn't request a second driveway.
Okay. Okay, I think that's all I have. Barb, do you have anything?
It looks
Uh-oh,
like
we lost
Tom
him.
is disconnected. Hopefully he can,
We,
we're gonna have to
Yeah.
go on pause here for a little bit.
okay.
I'm sorry, I couldn't find my unmute button. This is Barb. I don't have any other
That's okay.
questions or any comments.
Okay, we just lost Tom, so hang on a minute.
Okay.
Hey, Tom, are you with us?
Yeah, sorry, my phone dropped the call, so.
Nope, no problem. As long as we got you back, that's the important part. Did you miss anything in any of the previous conversation?
Your last comment, you were just starting to ask, after you had clarified, with lot 2, with the driveway easement is where that's the last part that I got.
Okay, so you heard what Mark Nara had in his letter that was read into the
Yes,
record?
I heard what he had in his letter and where that was addressed, and then your comment about sharing the easement, which is okay as long as it's used for ag. If it were to go to a residential lot, then it would have to be addressed.
Right. I just wanted to make that point known for the record. Okay, and Barb did jump in. Barb, do you want to comment again, just for the record?
Yes, I do not have any questions or concerns.
Okay, we don't have anyone from the public, it doesn't sound like, that has questions or comments? That's the case, are we ready for a motion?
Yes, this is Barb. I will tender a motion to accept with the inclusion of the letter from Mark Nera. I want to make sure that's on record.
Okay,
This is Tom, and I would actually second that motion with also a condition being added that the note regarding if this were to become non ag use for any of the residential lots, then it would have to at that time be rezoned to the proper zoning.
okay. So we have a motion with a correction. Dan, can we move forward with that, or what do you need?
Well, technically, it would have to be adjusted and Barb, the way Barb worded that to add Tom's, so it'd almost take a withdrawal or an amendment or however you'd like to approach it.
Okay.
Okay,
Can
this is
Barb
Barb.
just read?
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
Barb
This
could
is
just
Barb.
amend her motion to include that language.
Yeah, you could amend it, Barb.
Okay, I'll amend that to include Tom's language.
Okay.
Do we have that
We have a
again?
motion.
Okay,
Yeah, go ahead. Do you want to hear it again?
I don't. I've got it, so I'm good.
Okay. Okay. So Tom, you're okay with that? Do you want to go to a second?
Yes, and I would second Barb's motion with the amendment.
Okay. We have a motion and a second with the amendment. All in favor by roll call, say aye.
Okay, Chris Summerzant,
Aye.
Barb Parker,
Aye.
Tom Bride.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is public comment on matters not on the agenda. And we have no public, so I'm assuming we can go on to commissioner comment or inquiry. Anybody have anything? I'm kind of
Nothing from
curious
me.
about, what maps are coming out or what changes have occurred to the municipalities in the county that we'll be seeing when we do our review. Is that something that we want to see prior to any official meeting so that we can actually look through it? Commissioners, what do you think?
This is
That
Barb. I'd love to
sounds-
see some.
Heard a yes from Barb. Tom, what do you think?
Sounds good to me. Yes, the same from Tom.
Okay. Can we get that information? Dan or Dave?
Sure. Yeah. What exactly do you want, Chris?
Well, I guess, I think the biggest thing is that we want to be able to see kind of the maps and start reviewing some of the information that you have available for us. I think the last meeting, we talked about a comprehensive plan and some changes and mapping changes by the local cities in the county. Are those available?
Yeah, I can provide you guys all a link to the, so you guys can have access to all the comprehensive plans for every city that we have up there.
Okay, just so we can start reviewing before we actually start going through everything. I'm assuming we're going to wait until we have a full board next year.
Yep. Well, yep. working on the funding with the Board of Supervisors and an agreement. And so I believe it's going to be a go. And yeah, we probably wouldn't look to start until next year until we have a full board seated.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. I appreciate that.
You bet.
Anybody else have any comments or anything coming up?
I guess I would also make a comment regarding the applications. Have they seen a uptick in the number that have came in for the positions on both the zoning board and Board of Adjustment?
We've got 2 officially received for the zoning commission, 1 for the Board of Adjustment. We've mailed out emailed numerous applications. Some folks were saying that, you know, maybe once harvest is done, that they'd be more willing to take a look at it or consider it. We've got a December 15th deadline, and so we've been kind of out, you know, re-promoting all of that with the December 15th deadline. But I think we'll have enough applicants for the supervisors to choose from.
Good.
Talk to your buddy Dan Hare if you could, Tom.
What's that?
Said you should talk to your buddy Dan Hare. Daniel
Oh,
Hare.
about applying?
Yeah, about the Board of Adjustment. He was someone that was recommended to me, and I started talking to him, and I started mentioning the folks that were on these commissions and boards, and he said he knew you.
Yeah, I'm actually on the Farm Bureau board with him. I'll talk to him, and if he's interested, he probably would be good at it. He seems to put forth some effort, so.
Cool.
Great. Do we have anything else, commissioners or administrators? Anything coming up of interest that we can start thinking about?
You know, once we get the details ironed out for the comp plan with Simcoe and figure out what they'll be able to do, or if they'll have to outsource any of that, you know, we can probably we'll start to work on putting together a steering committee. And I'm assuming that we'll probably at least want the chair or a representative from the zoning commission and or Board of Adjustment. I know that some of what the consultant has been saying so far, as far as like people that we'll need to gather. But other than that, we do have some draft products of the FEMA flood map that we just received this week. And so we'll start to distribute that amongst our stakeholder group. And, you know, we'll share that with you guys as well. It's the same flood maps products that we've seen for the last 12 months. But this is the formal review process. And basically with COVID, we're going to have to pretty much do everything online, or the majority of it will be done online.
Okay, so you're not going to attempt to meet in person doing the 6-foot distancing, and or how many
We'll
people are
see.
going to be
I don't know.
involved?
It's kind of led through the state, so I think, you know, we're just going to have to wait and see if this is their process or if we're going to be able to differentiate from state policy. Because state policy is really different than our county policy.
Okay. Okay, I wondered about that. Okay. We have anything else? Anybody? If not, I'd be willing to call for an adjournment. Someone would like to make a motion for at that point, officially.
This is Barb. I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
This is Tom, and I would second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor of adjourning by roll call?
Chris Somersant,
Yay.
Barb Parker,
Aye.
Tom Bride.
Aye.
Motion passes to adjourn.
All right, thank you, everyone. I appreciate all your help and your participation.
Thanks, Chris.
Stay safe.
Yep, thanks.